Welcome to the 71st episode of the Supernatural Occurrence Studies Podcast.
So damn paranormal.
My name is Jason Knight, host of the show, and with me, as always, is the lovely, the beautiful, the salacious, the deadly Oscar Spector.
Buy me dinner first. What's up, bitches?
And, of course, Alexi Raven.
How do I handle the mic though?
Hi.
Just let it die. Dead air.
It was so awkward.
Mm-hmm.
What have you guys been up to? 71. Episode 71.
Fucking a lot.
Oh, all right. There we go.
That's all I got.
Lexi, what have you been up to?
I guess the same thing.
I hope so.
Hey, Jinx, you owe me your life.
Buy me a Coke.
Life.
That's it? Just some sex? That's all you guys been up to?
No, let's see, work. We've been into this game, Don't Starve, like fucking crazy.
What is it?
This game, Don't Starve.
Don't Starve?
We played Don't Starve together.
Oh, that's nice.
Hey, you know what? Since I just mentioned it, and it's completely by accident, not intentional in any way,
yeah.
I'm just going to say, is there now any Don't Starve fans out there, Together fans? Hit me up on YouTube. Find you guys on the PS4. That's where I play it. I don't have a computer.
What do they look for?
No, just say, and if they want, they'll give you your ID through the YouTube, and I'll find them, and I'll befriend them, and we'll play Don't Starve together.
I'm so out of the loop on this one.
It's a game. Don't Starve together. It's like your kids. What did the kid play? Your kid?
Minecraft.
It's not like Minecraft, but it's similar in the fact that it never ends. It's like a world you build, you find resources, but you have to survive this world. As opposed to in Minecraft, there's no survival. You just do whatever you want.
Yeah, and you do it as a couple.
Yeah, Don't Starve together. You can play with people online. We play split screen, you know.
Oh, I see.
So yeah,
that sounds.
We survive this world
fun.
together. Yeah, it's fun.
All right.
It's a lot of fun. We've been doing that. What have we done? Anything?
No.
No, right? We haven't done anything. I've been meaning to get her to learn how to drive properly in practice.
Oh.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't. I gave you the mic so you can tell the honest truth.
I do know how to drive.
Fucking liar.
Do you know how to drive well?
No.
That's awesome.
Nice question. But no, no. I'm sorry, man.
That's all right. I got a mouthful.
Of semen.
Wow.
No, I mean like the Navy people.
Even weirder.
I know, right?
Well, the listeners might not know that when episode 70 came out, Smiley Face Killers, I was on vacation. I was on vacation, bitch, when that episode came out. I released it from the road.
Yes. I was worried that you weren't, like, going to check up your email.
Oh, no.
Because you never texted me saying I got it.
Oh, sorry.
And 3 days later, I'm like, when Katie was texting me, I was like, let him know that the show, I gave it to him already.
Yeah. Oh, no. I was on it. Sorry.
Cool.
Yeah, I took my family down to Florida.
Yeah.
We did a road trip down to Florida. We went to Orlando, of course, for the kids. Mm-hmm. We went to Longboat Key, it's on the Gulf side of Florida, Gulf of Mexico. It is paradise. It is literally paradise. Mm-hmm. We went to Clearwater, which was hell. Literally hell. Millions of people in Clearwater, Florida. So we're like, fuck this. We're going to take the next day and go to Longboat Key. Mm-hmm. Longboat Key, we found this huge secluded beach. Barely anybody was there. Just us and me, the wife, the two kids. We played in the water for like 8 hours. And me and Katie got so fucking sunburned. She couldn't even move. She couldn't even sleep. She was so sunburned.
Yeah, I saw her briefly when I came in. She looked like she went through some shit.
Yeah. Now she looks like good. The color looks good.
But that she had gone through. I'm saying.
Yes. She was more red than that Corvette behind you.
Yeah.
Beat red.
You too?
I was really red, but not as bad as her.
Yeah.
She was at night shivering and like she couldn't sleep. It was horrible. Kids were fine, thank God. They tanned beautifully. Their hair turned lighter blonde.
What?
They look like Baywatch running down the street.
Meanwhile, Baby Baywatch?
Baby Baywatch, and me and Katie are dying in the resort room. It's horrible.
You're old. What are you, like 63? I mean, you can't be doing that, man.
I can't do it.
Can't be doing. It's I get the same way. Like if I go with my friends, I get way less damaged by the sun.
Really?
Like I'll get like if I did the 8 hours, maybe some parts will peel a little, like the back of my neck. That's a prime spot for the sun.
Yeah.
Maybe a part of the arm, but that's it. Like I won't feel those effects that most people feel. My friend Connie from work, he was in Florida. Funny enough, around the same time you were there. He went there for a week, and he came back to look like a radish. Poor guy. He was itching and like not good. But yeah, he's younger. He was able to still sleep through it. But yeah,
Good.
sorry about that for Katie.
Yeah, it was. And usually my fine Italian European skin.
Right. That's why it probably affected you less.
It just bronzes very nicely, and I look gorgeous. But this time,
That's too long, though.
yeah, it was tough. And then we went to New Smyrna Beach.
The fuck?
New Smyrna Beach in Florida.
Okay.
It was beautiful. I found out while we were there, it's the shark bite capital of the world.
The most shark bites?
Yes. Most shark attacks. Pretty crazy.
Oh, I thought they would have like shark bites, like the way people have chicken fingers on their menu.
No. Actual deadly,
Got
those little things.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I really like New Smyrna. It's like a low key kind of Key West.
Mm-hmm.
I put
Low
a
Key
new
West.
yes, I put a new plan in life where I will wind up in New Smyrna Beach one day. I will live there because it is that great.
Oh, I thought it would always be NOLA for you.
I'd have a summer home in NOLA.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's so picky. About the sharks, Luke is working in Martha's Vineyard for his job.
Oh, he's in Martha's Vineyard right now?
I know. I
Nice.
I mean, the first two were like shitty spots. Like Alaska was one. Bumfuck, Colorado was another. Then he went to California, which was nicer. Palm Springs. And now he's in Martha's Vineyard. It says like they're upgrading him.
Nice.
I don't know. Where he'll be next. No. Okay, I got nothing. Anyway, he goes there. He always tells us like what sightings of celebrities he's seeing. And he went to the island part, or maybe it's a whole different island itself, where they filmed Jaws, and it was really cool.
Oh, cool.
And he had never seen the movie.
One of my favorite movies.
The prick had never seen the movie before he went.
No shit.
The fucking asshole. I would have loved to have been there knowing the movie all my life.
Hell yeah.
But he did see it after. But yeah, either way.
That's one of my favorite movies, man.
It's a great movie. Anyway, that's all. Sharks reminded me of that.
Yeah. No, that was it. And then I don't know what else we did. Universal Studios, of course, in Orlando. We didn't do Disney this time. We did Universal Studios.
Yeah, I probably prefer that. And also, Disney has too many fucking options.
Yeah.
Let's start.
Yeah. It seems like the Universal Studios more for adults. I mean, it's for kids, but I think it's slightly more geared for adults. And it was great.
Yeah.
We did the Harry Potter ride, which was insane. Spider-Man. We did Jurassic Park. And I'm going to tell you, these new rides that they have, it's not like little characters dancing around in costumes. It is a whole nother world they bring you into.
Mm-hmm. The Pirates of the Caribbean are actually rapey.
Rapey of the Caribbean. Yeah, no, nothing like that. You literally, your mind is convinced you're in a completely different world. That's how realistic and crazy it is.
Oh, yeah, do it right.
It was
right?
great.
That's why I go. Yeah. If you're going to do something, do it right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I do have a crazy story about the way down to Florida. Okay. We drove straight through to Georgia.
Yeah.
Ooh, the lights just went out.
No, we already said that earlier. No, we haven't.
No, we haven't said it yet.
Oh, shit.
But literally, the lights just went out. We're in the dark. So we drove straight to Georgia, pulled in late at night, right? It was dark.
Mm-hmm.
Pulled into the hotel. It was a Marriott in Georgia. Katie and the kids got out of the car, went into the hotel. I went into the back seat and started cleaning out like crumbs and stuff the kids were eating while we were driving, goldfish and cookies and sandwiches and stuff like that. So I went in the back seat. I kind of brushed out a bunch of the crumbs, and I'm like, I'll get the rest. When we get to Florida, I can vacuum it out or whatever. So we go into the hotel, go to sleep, get up the next morning, pack up, go to leave. We're walking to the car with all our luggage and stuff. My daughter Talia goes to the back door. She's the first one to open her door. Yeah. And she screams bloody murder. Just screams. Oh. I'm like, what the fuck is this? This is vacation. What are you screaming for?
This is vacation.
I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you? She's like, Daddy, there's ants everywhere. I'm like, what? So I go to her side of the car in the back and I look, and everywhere throughout the inside of the car, it's infested with fire ants. Down south, they have these nasty little bastards called fire ants.
Yeah.
And they bite you. It feels like someone puts a match to your skin and they bubble up and get pus in it. It's horrible. These things are horrible.
Yeah.
Well, they infested the rental car I had. I didn't know what to do because I'm not putting the kids in the car. And I'm not talking about 100 ants. I'm talking like 1 million ants are in the car.
What the fuck? What did you leave there again?
running everywhere in the car. There were like little food crumbs. But what I didn't realize, when we pulled in at night, because it was dark, I parked the front end of the car right over a fire ant hill.
Oh, you did. That's what really did.
And they caught the scent of the food in the back.
And they went apeshit.
And they went right through the wheel wells of the front of the car and just flooded the car. I thought we were going to have to call the trip because I didn't know what to do. I had no idea what to do. I'm from the Midwest. We don't have fucking fire ants.
I mean, we have a shit ton of ants, but not that kind of ants.
No. So it took me 5 hours vacuuming. The hotel gave me a vacuum. The Marriott gave me a vacuum. God. I said, you're going to do something because, well, actually, Katie fought that battle because I was too busy freaking out about the trip. What are we going to do? Because we still had 6 hours to drive. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm not putting my family in this car. Right. I didn't want to get in the car. So Katie fought with the hotel. She got a vacuum. I spent 2 hours vacuuming the car, getting all these little ants, trying to get them out, and they're still coming. They're still coming. Wow. Actually, Katie jumped into the car and moved it away from the fire ant hill because they were still coming in. Right, she got in the car with all those ants and moved it. God bless her.
Because they were in the front seat too?
They were everywhere. Wow. Coming out of the dash, everywhere.
She toughed it out?
She toughed it out.
Oh,
I wouldn't do it.
I would have hugged her when I saw her. That's a good job.
Yes. No, she's tough.
10 years ago, Katie would never do that.
I know. That's what kids do. That's what kids do to you.
Yeah, I guess so.
They make you tough.
Also, vacations. Like, oh, that's money, motherfucker. We're going.
Absolutely. Yeah. So she moved the car. I vacuumed it out. Jumped into the car. Drove to a car wash. You have to power wash where they enter the vehicle because they leave some kind of scent behind and more will find you and shit. Yeah. Right. So I spent maybe another 45 minutes power washing the car. I opened the doors and I was power washing the door
frame, the inlay,
like the inside of the doors, the frame, the channels, because they were
seals it.
Yes, they were in the rubber.
Of course, they have to go through it. Yeah,
so
they're small enough to barely do it.
Yes. Oh man, and so I did that. Then I found a Target over there in Georgia. And I bought 2 bottles of bug spray, but it's like natural green bug spray. And it said, good for fire ants. I said, perfect. Spent 2 bottles spraying inside the rental vehicle. Wow. And finally, after 5 hours, I got all the ants out. And we made our 6-hour trip.
Did you find any one ant straggling or anything?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We probably caught maybe 10.
Wow.
10. And they were mostly up front. I think Talia had one on her leg in the back. Oh. But from millions to 10. It was insane.
That's awesome. I mean, all terrible, but it's a great visual.
It is. What a story, man. Fuck Georgia.
You didn't take a picture?
No, I didn't even think to take a picture, man.
What the fuck? What do I have you as a friend for?
And then on the way back, we stopped in Georgia for gas. Yeah. And I lost my credit card. I had to get a new credit card. So we pulled this gas station, and I jump out to put gas in the car. And this shitty little Georgia backwoods ass, sorry if I have any Georgia listeners.
We do. You're welcome, people.
Was just swarmed with these gnats, these little black gnats, like clouds of them. So I pull out my wallet and I realize that I'm missing my credit card. So I'm like, fuck. So I'm looking through the car, seeing if I dropped it. Meanwhile, all these gnats are like biting me. No. I get cash because I couldn't find the card, so I pay for the gas, go to the pump, and I'm pumping gas, and I'm being swarmed by these biting gnats again. Get to the hotel where we were staying that night in Ohio, and all these massive welts started forming all over my body where these things bit me. Yeah. And it was itching like I've never itched before in my life. I have bloody like scars on my body right now.
Really?
Because my legs are on my face, my neck, my arms from these little fucking biting gnats in Georgia. Never going to Georgia again.
Did you take a picture of your arm?
No.
What is wrong with you?
I didn't think.
No, it's okay.
That.
I'm fucking with you.
This is horrible.
For the audience.
I don't know. I know the lights are out, but I don't know if you can see some of them.
No, it's okay. My visual's better than whatever you can show me.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh God. It was terrible. But the vacation itself was beautiful. So I wanted to talk about my vacation.
But you spent more time talking about these fucking ants and your fucking problems.
I know. I'm sorry.
No, because it's funny. I mean, that's how we are as a society. I mean, that's how we do it.
We want to talk about the bad stuff, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, you want to bitch. It's better to bitch and to hear bitching than it is to hear positive. Like, I saw a deer. It was so beautiful. I'm already bored. Jesus. Fucking Christ. Shut
Something up. Die already.
Right. Now, if you say that deer was suddenly raped by a coyote,
That would be something to talk
and
about.
then it got eaten alive, and then your baby got kidnapped that day. Awesome.
By a chupacabra.
Right.
That's
awesome.
a story.
Did you say that because I'm spick?
That totally caught me off guard.
I had to say it.
That was great.
That's great. I try to catch them off guard, folks, for you guys.
So that's my story. Listeners, if you love what we do and you want us to do more,
So much supernatural talk so far.
in hopes we get hurt, killed, or maimed going out
Right.
there and doing our podcast thing,
Yeah.
join our Patreon. Patreon.com/Supernatural Occurrence Studies Podcast. We'll give you some really cool stuff, and we'd really appreciate the support. Contact us on Facebook at Chicago Ghost Podcast. Find us on Twitter and Instagram at Chicago Ghosts. We've been getting a lot of good traction on Instagram lately, actually.
Okay.
Got a lot of cool stuff up there, a lot of pictures, some to do with the podcast, a lot not to do with the podcast. You want to take a look into Jason Knight's life? I don't know why you would, but hey, follow us on
Did you post vacation pictures on
Instagram
there?
at Chicago Ghosts. Actually, yeah, like 2 or 3.
But not the hives of the ants. The cool
No,
stuff.
not the
Fine.
hives of the ants. Find us on YouTube, Supernatural Occurrence Studies on YouTube. Lots of great videos and all sorts of odds and ends from us found there. Our email is, Oscar, do you know it? Contact at chicagoghostpodcast.com and call 872-529-0767. That's Chicago area code 872-529-0767. And leave us a message about anything you want. And if it's good, we'll play it on the show.
That area code, just like there's a Paris, Texas, that's from Chicago, Missouri.
it is not. It's actually, you know what it is? I looked it up because you and Dave always bust my balls about it.
Because no one for you know what happened.
It's a loop, a Chicago loop area code. I think it's specific to the Gold Coast, actually.
Oh, so you have to be rich as fuck.
You have to be rich as fuck to have that.
How did you get that number?
Well, you know, I got my ways.
No, you don't.
But go ahead, listeners. Leave us a message. I promise it doesn't hurt.
What happened?
And I was going to answer her.
You were about to answer like an idiot.
That flavor is cannoli French toast. Isn't it awesome?
Oh, my God, I want that, too. Give me
some vape. We're all hitting the vape.
Fine, it's just
Oh, guys, I
fucking
got
gross.
some more news.
Yeah, what's up?
Katie's pregnant. Really?
With
Katie
child?
Knight is pregnant.
With child?
Yes. We found it.
Let's pause. Fuck.
I
Everyone, hold on.
purposely
Everyone
did
shut
not
up.
tell anybody.
Everyone shut up. You want this in the show?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Everyone shut up. Pausing it now. All right, I'm back. I have to give him a hug. Okay.
You guys are going to make me cry. Yeah, the second we got back, okay, we pulled into the driveway. We were probably driving for about
But
10
you didn't pull out.
That was a really good one.
I tried.
That was good. So we pulled into the driveway. Katie runs into the bathroom, runs into the house, goes to the bathroom right here. Because we were driving for 10 hours, so I figured she had to go to the
Right.
bathroom, right? She comes out of the bathroom and she's holding the test in her hand. And I'm like, what is that? And she goes, I'm pregnant. I said, what?
I would have said,
What?
My ego is prego. I would have
Echo is pregnant.
said that.
Well, I couldn't believe it because she's on birth control.
Yeah.
She's on birth control.
That shit's on control.
And I'm like, all right, let's just play it cool. Go to the doctor tomorrow. Let's make sure, get the blood.
Right.
She's pregnant.
Wow.
It's over a month now, so
So that bottle of expensive vodka I bought her for her birthday. Huh?
not going to work.
Not gonna work.
Well, we're getting the big black dick tomorrow, and she can't drink any.
Right, this is the true pregnancy test.
That's right. Listeners, look up Big Black Dick Rum. It's fantastic, and it's all mine.
Make sure the rum is in there, though.
It's all mine. So
Yes.
in late March, there's going to be the pitter-patter of little Jason running out of the house because there's going to be another child.
Oh, my God. Are you going to be surprised on this one, or are you going to know right away?
We're going to know. We're going to find out.
Come on.
Yeah.
Treat it like an M. Night Shyamalan movie. You
Yeah.
don't know how it's going to end. Just wait.
You don't know how it's going to end.
Yeah, what a twist. That's so cool. Congratulations.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
You know that means like you're stuck in this job that you're doing, daytime job forever, right?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, just so you know.
Unless I find one that pays even more.
Right. That's
Not that I want to. If I have listeners at my day job, listen, I don't want to go anywhere.
Dude, he's
but-
fucking searching. I seen him polishing his fucking resume every day.
Oh, shit.
Anyway,
Maybe we could edit that last part out. I'm not sure.
JK.
But no, I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah. Okay.
So-
No, I know you're not. I'm just kidding. No, hey, that's amazing.
Thanks, man.
That's so cool. I can't wait to poke its little nose.
Oh, his. Thank God
I said it's.
Oh, you did say it's. Okay.
Did I say it's?
Because people are saying girl twins. Everyone is saying girl twins. If I have girl twins.
Oh, my God. I will laugh so hard and then give you all the support because you're going to need it.
I don't think I'd make it, man. But dude, that's what everyone's saying.
Your hair will be gray.
It's never singular. It's never singular when people talk about this new baby. It's always them or they.
Well, let's hope they're fucking wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you got one of each.
Yep. No, we got lucky, and that's where we wanted to stop.
Although 2 girls will put Nico in a lot of danger.
Nico's going to have to fight for his life.
Yeah, for his life.
Estrogen is in the house at that point.
Yeah.
Me and Nico, we're going to be outnumbered. We're going to be sleeping out in the shed in back.
Psychologically tormenting the kid.
Crazy.
Great.
Too much.
And with a kitty coming up? Yeah, dude.
Yeah, and I'm getting a cat, apparently. I don't know what the fuck's going on in this house anymore. I don't know what happens when I'm not around.
Taking this too much. It's really tasty.
Isn't that vape good?
It's really good, yeah.
Give me a vape, bro. So that's it for the news. I promise. We're gonna roll into the show now,
guys. Okay, no. Everyone, send in your favorite name for Jason's kid. His other names are Talia and Nico. So think of names that will go with those sibling names and send it to the show.
I like that because that's something else we've been working on.
Yeah, if you want to have a theme go nuts. He clearly is Italian by those names, but you could just get a Serbian name. Do whatever you want, but find something cool.
Yeah, let us know. Either call us, send us an email, contact us on Twitter, Facebook.
Right.
That's a good idea, Oscar. Thank you.
Yeah, anyway.
Now let's hear from our sponsors.
Do we have to,
and
though?
It's not like Pampers.
That'd be funny. Huggies, bitch. Okay.
This episode of the Supernatural Occurrence Studies podcast is brought to you by GoDaddy.com. GoDaddy.com is offering our listeners a huge 30% discount on any new GoDaddy service. Go ahead and buy that domain you've always wanted. Build your dream website, sell your product, and communicate with your fans. Anything you need to get your business and ideas online and productive. To take advantage of the 30% discount, you must visit www.trygodaddy.com/SOS-radio. What are you waiting for? That's trygodaddy.com/SOS-radio. Start building your online presence today.
Today's episode of the Supernatural Occurrence Studies podcast is brought to you by LootCrate.com. Loot Crate, totally rad swag from your favorite movie, television, and video game franchises delivered conveniently to your front door. That's Marvel, Far Cry, Rick and Morty, Batman, WWE, Harry Potter, anime, Minecraft, Stranger Things, and a whole lot more, guys. Visit trylootcrate.com/SOS-radio and enter promo code BRIDGE10 to receive 10% off any new subscription. That's trylootcrate.com/SOS-radio and enter promo code BRIDGE10 for 10% off any new subscription to Loot Crate. Your order must be placed, however, before 9 p.m. Pacific Time on or before the 19th of the month to secure your special listener offer. That's trylootcrate.com/SOS-radio and enter promo code, what's that, guys? BRIDGE10.
Welcome back. Thank you for listening to our sponsors.
He's going to be a father, guys. Sorry, I'm so jazzed.
Make sure and take advantage of the deep discounts and help support the show.
Wait, I never asked. By the way, now it's the time to support our show because he's going to need it, guys.
Yeah, that's exactly.
It's going to need it.
It hasn't sunken in yet. Obviously I'm excited, but I'm also
hasn't really.
I'm not processing yet.
Like when you watch something traumatic, kind of like thing.
Yeah, relating this to a car accident,
right?
A train wreck.
No, it's just the first thing that
I don't think I've processed yet. It's really weird.
I bet you it'll feel probably like a lesser version of the last one because the first time it's the first time.
That's the
big. It's like James Gandolfini's character over in True Romance. And call back, ask your parents, kids. where he's talking about his murder. He's a big murder guy. He's a hitman for the mob or whatever. And he's talking to this girl he's about to murder. And he's saying, he's talking about his first time. And he talks about Charles Whitman's first time. Like, I bet you that first bead he shot was the bitch of the bunch, you know. And he's talking about how he threw up the first night and it was the one he remembers the most. And the second time he describes as like, is the same but more muted and like just a little less. And he's like, the third one, he's like, shit, now I just watched their expression change. That's going to be you. On your seventh kid, you're like,
are you equating my new child to murder?
Yes, I am.
You know what, though? That analogy fits. It's kind of like what it is.
Because, I mean, can you remember your first time with Talia? Probably a lot easier than Nico, maybe? Maybe more so with this one? I don't know.
You know, with Talia, it was, everything had to be perfect. Everything was... Right. We captured every moment on film, and
I barely see pictures of Nico.
The house had to be perfect. Everything had to be baby-proofed.
Right.
Watched her, every move she made, you were on her. Then Nico came around, and we're like, all right, been there, done that. Just go ahead, kid. You'll be fine.
Yeah, right.
These things that we thought were going to happen to Talia really don't happen, so have at it, kid.
You're going to be at the supermarket. When this one pops out, you'll forget to go to the fucking hospital.
So I don't know what's going to happen with the third one.
Right, so, yeah.
Great analogy. That's kind of how it is.
Yeah. Hitmen and baby makers.
Hitmen, that's the topic of tonight's episode. Hitmen and baby makers.
We should call it that. If we had something about babies and hitmen, I would love to call this show that. But alas, it's not happening.
Yeah, and alas, we must get on with the show.
Yes, we are jobs here.
The lights are turned down low. They may go off. The drinks are flowing.
Yes. Yeah.
And the ceremonial candle is lit.
Strawberry beer, man.
Lexi, how lit is that ceremonial candle?
Lit as fuck.
Let's get this show started. Now, originally, I wanted to talk about our upcoming podcast trip in August.
Right.
And you're going to join us, Oscar. Where we plan to go, things we plan to do. One of the things that really sets this podcast apart from other paranormal podcasts out there is the fact that we dare to leave the studio and take our listeners on the road and into actual haunted locations or UFO sites, murder sites, and other crazy locations.
Yeah.
Think about it. On this show, we've taken listeners to the Lizzie Borden House, Area 51, the Bridgewater Triangle, Bachelor's Grove Cemetery, Robinson Woods Indian Burial Ground, even a famous Nevada brothel, Dennis Hoff's Alien Cat House, as heard in episode 50. But unfortunately, due to scheduling conflicts and other commitments, we've been unable to go on the road so far in 2018. And that's going to change in August. We have something planned that I think will be a lot of fun, and I think the listeners will really dig it. It's got everything. Ghosts, UFOs, ancient civilizations. Bitches, even ghost ships. But I'm going to hold off on talking about what's coming up for now, and instead, I want to continue talking about the Smiley Face Killers, because we received a lot of feedback on Supernatural Occurrence Studies podcast, episode 70, the Smiley Face Killer episode. People wrote us wanting to know more about the cases. Some offered their own theories, and we even got a voicemail from a listener who was at a Smiley Face Killer crime scene in La Crosse, Wisconsin.
By the way, just so you know, guys, for a little in-depth inside baseball shit, I wanted to call the Smiley Face Killer episode Upside Down Frown Killers, but Jay wouldn't let me.
Upside Down Frown. Oscar, can we play that voicemail we received really quick?
Nah. Okay,
please?
Sure. Yeah,
okay.
It's a good one, actually. I like it. So.
Hi, my name is Jenny. I was just calling about the Smiley Face Killer. I absolutely love the show, guys. Good job. Keep up the great work. I had gone to school in La Crosse, Wisconsin. I went to Viterbo University. And back in 2009-2010 school year, there was actually a guy who was murdered. They found him in the Mississippi River. Next to the tree, they had found a smiley face carved in the tree, and it was painted red. The last location they saw the guy was at 6th and Market, which was actually around the corner from my dorm room. And I had actually walked down to the crime scene and saw the smiley face on the tree. The whole school went kind of into a panic. Viterbo is a very small private Catholic college, So anything like this kind of shook the school up a little bit. We weren't allowed to walk anywhere by ourselves. Campus security or girls were walking us to our classes if we had later classes. It just the whole town kind of freaked out about it. But I remember walking down by the river. It was not too long after they had pulled the young man's body out, and it was very, very eerie. They had actually found him face down in the water. They don't know. They never said if it was foul play or anything like that. Everyone at the school was to keep it kind of hush-hush because of the smiley face found. And I actually, along with one of my roommates, had Googled the Smiley Face Killer, and it was the same exact markings. So, yeah, kind of freaky. Hopefully it really wasn't. Would be kind of cool if it was, to know that I had seen something like that. But, yeah, thanks, guys. You guys are awesome.
Thanks for the call, Jenny. We'll discuss her call in a bit.
Yeah.
Even though she didn't say where she was from, but I'm assuming it's somewhere in Wisconsin. She was at La Crosse.
At the very least studying there.
Yeah, and like I said, we're going to cover her phone call in a minute. But before we jump into Jenny's call and some more cases, I want to talk about some of my findings when it comes to blood alcohol content. If you remember from last episode, nearly all the smiley face nearly all the smiley face murders are said to be alcohol-related drownings, right? That's it. No conspiracy, just drunk college guys being dumb. I found out that when it comes to blood alcohol content, you have to be very careful with the findings. According to the Atlanta Injury Law blog, quote, blood alcohol tests after a person dies may not be reliable due to postmortem fermentation when a body is not kept cool after the death.
Right.
There can be false positive blood alcohol reports up to 0.20 grams, half 2.5 times the legal limit of 0.08. End quote. So fermentation of a body, in other words, decomposition, does increase blood alcohol levels.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and the Atlanta Injury Law blog went on to say, quote, it has been well established for many years that blood alcohol levels at autopsy are valid up to 48 hours after death when solid protocols are observed in the collecting and storage of the samples. False blood alcohol levels greater than 0.20 can be generated in autopsy blood samples which are not properly stored. It went on to say, we're still in the quote here, high blood alcohol levels may develop during putrefaction, which levels up to 0.20% do not necessarily indicate that alcohol was imbibed before death. In other words, person was drunk before death.
Right.
End quote.
So like the equivalent of a beer right before I die, and if I fester out there for a month or two or something,
it's going to increase.
It's going to increase to like, where like this fucking guy was drunk. I'm like, oh,
this fucking guy was plastered,
right,
just hammered, right? And it was only one beer.
Right.
So think of the case we mentioned in episode 70, the first Smiley Face episode, with Harsha Medulla, the case from Chicago, the one who was not a drinker,
right,
was not a partier, yet his blood alcohol was high enough to say that his death was accidental with a contributing factor of alcohol. He was found 5 days later, and blood alcohol tests are only valid for up to 48 hours after death.
But why isn't this like, I mean, it seems like a standard protocol for coroner's office to know this. So it's either a blatant lie told to the public to, again, make them seem like accidents, or is a lot of people being inept. Either that or what you're telling me is a brand new protocol that just started last year.
Which it isn't. Right?
I don't believe so.
There's something else happening.
Either people are fucking up, or people are hiding that little, very easily known fact that you just read off that will clear a lot of these things as accidents.
Exactly. Now, there's an article I read from the Department of Forensic Medicine at the Karolinska Institute in Stockholm, Sweden.
Gesundheit.
Quote, a person's blood alcohol concentration and state of inebriation at the time of death is not always easy to establish owing to various post-mortem artifacts. The possibility of alcohol being produced in the body after death, example via microbial contamination and fermentation and putrefaction, is a reoccurring issue in routine casework. Bodies, this is really important, this is still the quote, bodies recovered from water are particularly problematic to deal with, owing to possible dilution of bodily fluids, decomposition, and enhanced risk of microbial synthesis of ethanol, end quote. Crazy.
I failed biology.
Then I went on to find out about the synthesis, it's a tough word, of GHB.
That's a tough word, huh?
Right. Of GHB, also known as goop or liquid X, liquid ecstasy, or soap. Mm-hmm. Because remember, one theory is that these victims are being fed some undetectable date rape drug.
Yeah, we taught you GHB?
Yeah, likely GHB or something very similar.
Right.
Now, it is true that the body synthesizes GHB very rapidly, which is a possible reason why no traces of it are found in victims' bodies. In fact, our bodies actually produce very small amounts of GHB naturally. Mm-hmm. I never knew that. And when a body is going through decomposition, the decomposition process itself can release additional amounts of GHB. So if GHB is ever found in victims' bodies, it's impossible to tell if it was self-administered or given against the will, or if it was caused by the decomposition process itself.
Yeah, I wager
right?
I wager that a lot of drugs, there's two things that I've always kind of like, a little known about it, is that a lot of drugs just excite the normal amount of levels of what liquid, either adrenaline or GHB or whatever the hell we have in our very delicately intricate but balanced bodies. Enhances those, and that's what creates a high effect of whatever you're trying to achieve. So I think it's like most common. Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Right.
Yeah.
So after reading these quotes and these facts, to me, lumping all these drowning cases into alcohol-related deaths based solely on blood alcohol content levels at the time of autopsy,
right,
that's sketchy evidence at best.
Yeah.
Like what you were saying.
Yeah. At best. It's super incompetent, or like I said, I mean, I really hope it's not incompetence and it's just like them trying to just protect their own asses.
Yeah, I don't know which is scarier, right?
I mean, I don't know, but at least if they're protecting their own asses, at least they're not stupid enough to think that they actually drank that much. God, that would be worse, because how do they catch anyone out there?
Right.
What the fuck is that?
A bunch of Barney Fifes running around.
Yeah, but exactly.
Shooting themselves in the foot.
Right.
All right, let's get into some of the new Smiley Face Killer cases. I want to first talk about caller Jenny's victim.
Oh, good. I was going to ask you before the show if you found out about him. I'm glad
I did, because she didn't mention the guy's name.
But you can find it through location.
Through my research, I found out his name was Craig J. Myers, a 21-year-old criminal justice student at Western Technical College in La Crosse, Wisconsin.
Oh, he was close
at the time of his disappearance. Myers was last seen on February 14th, 2010, Valentine's Day. On February 13th, he attended a wedding reception and then did some bar hopping in downtown La Crosse. You can see how this is getting set up, right?
Yeah.
Around 1:50 a.m. on the morning of February 14th, Myers' cousin dropped him off on the 700 block of Market Street. Now remember, our caller, Jenny, she said her victim was last seen on Market Street on either 5th or 6th Street, Market and 5th or Market and 6th. It's hard to tell in the voicemail. So this is definitely the guy she's talking about.
Yes.
This guy disappeared on Market Street. Anyway, Myers was said to be intoxicated, again, after the wedding and the extra bar hopping he did. And he thought he was being dropped off at his girlfriend's house. But her house was actually on 16th Street, quite a distance away. That was the last anyone seen Myers alive. On the 16th of February, his body was discovered floating in the Mississippi River behind a Marriott at the south end of La Crosse's bar area. He was found in 20 to 25 feet of water and about 15 to 20 feet from shore. According to the La Crosse Tribune, quote, footprints believed to be belonging to Myers were found leading from a snowbank between the Marriott courtyard and the Riverside Center buildings and out onto the ice-crusted Mississippi River, end quote. On an embankment behind the Marriott, there were signs in the snow of someone falling and sliding down that embankment. So in a drunken stupor, did Myers slip and fall down the embankment, then walk out onto the ice and fall through and drown? Myers' official cause of death was cold water drowning with acute alcohol intoxication and hypothermia as contributing factors. That's a long one. Myers' official cause of death was cold water drowning with acute alcohol intoxication and hypothermia as contributing factors.
Intoxication.
You
said incapacitation.
Did I?
Pretty sure.
Damn drinks. Myers' blood alcohol content was found to be 0.019. Twice the legal limit. There were no signs, and we already know about blood alcohol content tests, right? There were no signs of trauma to the body. But what I found interesting, there are photographs supposedly showing Myers' footprints on the snow in an ice-covered lake. The photo shows, in a perfectly straight line, a set of footprints leading out onto the lake and then just stopping. No return footprints. Now my question is, here's a guy who was so drunk he had no idea where he was being dropped off. So drunk he got lost, wound up behind a Marriott, slipped and fell down this embankment, then walked in a perfectly straight line out onto the ice. It seems a little weird. Those, in my opinion, those footprints should have been stumbling.
Right.
Perfectly straight line. Then there's that smiley face that caller Jenny said she saw herself.
On the tree.
On the tree, right. Yes. That's something that's definitely not in the articles I read. Is it a detail that's being kept from the public? But here you have a young, good-looking college student. He was a former state champion wrestler, so he's young, in college, good-looking, and athletic.
And your type.
He's out drinking in a college town. These are all smiley face MOs. And then he turns up drowned. Exact smiley face killer MO. But who knows?
Right. The funny thing about that is when you were researching this man, Craig, right?
Yes.
You found them, like you didn't find them with smiley face research. You kind of found them through location and going back to 2010, right? What happened?
Was it 10? Sorry.
2011 maybe?
My notes here.
So, like, you didn't find them through
yes.
Smiley Face Archive, like people like talking about this being one of those?
There definitely was.
Okay.
There were regular newspaper reports from his disappearance to the search to the body being found.
But no one mentions this, the tree thing?
Not one.
Huh.
Not one. And I must have read 10, 15 articles about this guy.
Okay.
Not a single mention.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird.
I don't want to, add fuel to the fire or stoke the conspiracy theory fires. I'm just laying out the facts.
Well,
laying out what Jenny said.
By saying that, you kind of did a little bit, but then I know you're not trying to do that. So I'll do a little opposite here, is that kind of feels like an entrepreneurial person or someone trying to play a prank, or both, could have put the thing on the tree as a joke, as a practical joke. Maybe a day after or the day of, I don't know. And that's why it's still there, or was there for a few days after.
Yeah, this is a college town. That's perfectly reasonable.
I'm not saying it was there or not, but it seems particularly iffy that it wasn't mentioned. And also, out of all places, it wasn't like a high... I mean, was it that highly, publicized, his murder? Or his death?
Well, I mean, I know in Wisconsin it was all over the Wisconsin newspapers.
Yeah, she mentions about the little scare on the college campus.
Yeah, like the kind of a lockdown of the school.
It's funny how they reacted that. See, that's okay. That throws me off again because it's funny how they reacted that way on because of this accident.
Oh.
Because if it's an accident, why react that way?
And lockdown and...
They must have told everybody or some gossip rumor about murder.
Good point, man.
Not to mention that entire campus must have known about the smiley face tree stump thing, or the tree in general. Because that's what would make... That's the one thing that isn't an official saying of accident.
Right.
That everyone knows that it's murder.
Right.
Right? So it must have happened... So maybe that proves the thing you're saying is that it probably was there and committed and put there by the killer then. Because why else would it start this fire of people being protected extra and going in groups and freaking out.
Right. And the school going on lockdown.
Yeah, lockdown. I mean, I don't know how sensitive they are to it, but even then, an accident doesn't cause this.
I wouldn't think so.
Not like that. An accident of someone falling. What are they gonna say? Beware of gravity. It's always there. Like what the
Well, especially you'll see. I think if I remember correctly in my notes, there's another couple lacrosse people. There's so many people that this happens to in lacrosse.
Yeah.
You think the school would be going on lockdown all the time?
I mean, if it happened like once a week, some college kid getting drunk,
Right.
they just ban alcohol. I mean, they're not gonna
Exactly
walk people in pairs on the street at night. It's not the same reaction.
Well, I was reading one article that said, we've caught the Smiley Face Killer. It's alcohol.
Yeah.
But I did talk to Jenny on
Journalistic opinion there.
Yeah. I did talk to Jenny on our Facebook page at Chicago Ghost Podcast on Facebook, and she said she thinks she still has the picture.
Oh, nice.
And she's going to try to find it.
Awesome.
This is many years
that'll
ago.
Be great.
So.
And if you have to go through all shoe boxes and journals, I'm sorry, because I know memories can be harsh. But thank you.
Yeah. Oh, man, that would be great to see the picture.
For sure.
Now, there's Luke Homan. Now, remember, people wanted to hear more about the cases and other cases, so that's what I did. I outlined about with Jenny's 5. Okay. Next one is Luke Homan. He was a 21-year-old University of Wisconsin lacrosse senior and big-time basketball player.
Okay.
College-aged, athletic. Homan was last seen on September 30th, 2006, around 2:15 a.m., celebrating Oktoberfest at the Vibe Bar in downtown La Crosse, Wisconsin. There's another profile point. When he didn't show up for a golf outing the next morning, friends and relatives began to search for him immediately. Homan's body was found on October 2nd, 2006, in about 10 feet of water near the south end of the Riverside Park Levee, located off the Mississippi River in downtown La Crosse. So he was missing for about 2 days. 2 days. There were no signs of foul play, no injury, no trauma. His autopsy report said he died from cold water drowning with acute alcohol intoxication as a factor. His blood alcohol was 0.32, 4 times the legal limit to drive. At that time, when this happened, Homan was the 8th young man to drown in the area, in rivers in the area, since 1997. The 8th.
Before we continue, can I say something that I'm sure some people out there are hearing and are worried or not? They're not hearing. It's a small thing, nothing to do with the actual case. When you say drowning, it sounds like you're saying drowning. Drowning. Yeah. No, I'm sure it's like the way people say Groundhog's Day instead of Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
Like.
Am I really? I didn't even know.
I noticed it a few times in that show too. You kept saying it, and then when we talking about those forest disappearances.
Yeah. The missing 401 cases. 401.
You kept saying drowning. I'm like, did I get that right? So I'm just putting it out there. I'm aware. I can't edit that out, but I'm just saying if you're not going crazy, if it's bothersome.
I think is that my Chicago coming out?
Must be you're just a tick.
Like French room.
What is that?
Drownings in French room.
What's French room?
French room.
What is that?
It's a French room. It's your living room. It's a French room.
Oh, people in Chicago call their living room the French room?
French room.
In Chicago, people call it?
It's the French room.
I've never met one person calling it that.
We never call them living room. Dave always busts me on this. The living room. What the fuck is a living room? It's the French room.
Because that's what he calls it.
That's what I call it. That's what we all call it.
No, I never
French room.
I lived there 34 years. I never fucking called it that.
You call them living rooms?
Well, I don't live there. No, meaning
it's the French room.
I'm in a weird case where I'm one of the very few people that don't use their living rooms for to hang out.
Oh,
the living room is literally just for decoration. No one sits in the couches even.
Yeah, are you sure?
There's no lights in there.
Are you sure you're not Italian?
Everything is in the basement.
Are you sure you're not Italian?
I might be a little whoppy. Sorry.
Yeah,
but
okay.
No. It's
drownings.
Yeah.
Drownings.
It's a little funny thing.
Huh.
Anyway,
now
sorry.
I'm be self-conscious.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. Fuck. Yeah.
All right. Ready to continue?
Yes,
I'll try to be conscious of that.
No. Don't, I'm just saying because I'm sure people out there are like, is he saying? He is saying it. I'm just saying. Cool.
Got it. Now this one, this is Brian Welsing. He was 21 years old, a Northern Illinois University student. I went there for a time, and former soccer player.
Me too. To hack into their editing program.
Did you really?
Oh, wait, wasn't that one?
Good for you.
That was a different one. Sorry, I might be getting the schools wrong. A lot of schools sound the same to me.
You hack a lot of schools?
No. Like, not like hack them, but like I snuck into 2 different schools to use their editing programs to edit short films when I couldn't afford my own laptop or computer. So I used to pretend to be a student.
Dude, kudos for you for finding a way.
This is before like they really came down on that, and everyone has student IDs now. But this is all kids ask your parents, when was this? But yeah, I used to do that. So fun times.
I used to bring people to class with me, like friends from Chicago.
Oh shit, yeah.
And they'd like take the tests and things. Fuck, I didn't care.
They just have nowhere to be.
Do you remember Bill Wolf? William Wolf?
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah, he used to come with me all the time, and he'd take tests and stuff. Oh yeah, I would do it with Minister Sal.
That's awesome.
But so yeah, he was a 21 years old, Northern Illinois student, Northern Illinois University student. Go Huskies, and former soccer player. So college, athletic.
That's football, bitch.
When he disappeared on January 1, 2000, and turned up dead in Lake Michigan 2 months later.
New Year's Day?
Yep.
Wow, sucks.
Now, Welsing and 2 of his friends drove to Chicago from DeKalb, Illinois, where NIU is, to attend a New Year's party. They partied all night at the Irish Eyes pub on Lincoln Avenue. Then went back to the room at their Ambassador Hotel on North State Parkway in Chicago's Gold Coast.
Yes, I know it.
Welsing's 2 friends went up to the room, while Welsing himself stayed outside because he got sick. He was thrown up near the hotel entrance. That was the last anyone saw of him. On March 17, 2000, Welsing's body washed up on a Gary, Indiana beach. Not the first time for Gary. Oh, sorry.
No, Gary has a history.
25 miles from downtown Chicago. There, of course, was no sign of foul play. His wallet with money in it was still on his body.
Always a weird sign.
And his death was listed as asphyxia due to drowning.
Sorry.
His blood alcohol content. Now check this out, though.
Yes.
His blood alcohol content when they found him was 0.08, exactly the legal limit. 0.08.
Oh, that's funny. So
isn't that crazy?
Okay.
Go ahead.
How freaky is it that always when you see murder or something like this, something weird like this happen, and they don't steal the easily stealable, that's not a word, thing, you know what I'm saying?
That's right. No,
it's always
money.
That's always creepier for me. I always expect people to be greedier.
Yes.
Like, can you imagine if there's a killer out there doing his best, doing the murdering he wants to do? That's his life goal. He's succeeding. He's living the life.
Real champ.
But he won't steal from their victims. And that's the one thing that throws a wrench into the investigation. But he just wants to be a nice guy. He doesn't want to go beyond
That's
the
crossing
murdering.
the line. That's crossing the line.
That's too many sins.
Too many sins.
Too many cooks. Yeah.
It
so,
is.
anyway.
I mean, so that goes to show you what is the motive here. It's not robbery, clearly.
I mean,
right?
like if I was not rich, but if I was killing people successfully, like these maybe people are, I would still take the money because it's like,
because why not?
Pocket change money, whatever, man.
Yeah,
gas for the way back or whatever.
I know that's like, what that does. That's a creepy element to this. And in the last episode, there was a few cases we covered with the same thing. Money still on the person.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
I don't know, man.
It makes it feel less human, more purposeful, you know, on top of the sketchiness of the fact that not all these can be accidents. A lot of them have doubts of being accidents and what you said about post-mortem alcohol levels.
Right.
Yeah, it's weird.
So this one's pretty strange. Matthew Kruzicki.
Okay.
A 24-year-old Heartland, Wisconsin native. Matthew Kruzicki Matthew Kruzicki disappeared after partying at an East Dubuque, Illinois strip club called the River Queen Lounge on December 24th, 2005. After a dispute over a lap dance bill, Kruzicki was asked to leave the bar, and both the bouncer and police wouldn't let him go back in to gather his belongings. It was 20 degrees outside. He left the strip club without his coat, wallet, or cell phone. Local police claim Kruzicki did not appear to be drunk, and this was the last time he was seen when he got tossed out of the bar.
Well, I hope that cop got something back for not letting him out in the cold without his fucking coat. Can you imagine?
It's shady, man.
I kicked this guy out. He has nothing on him. Fuck that guy. And he dies the next morning. How do you feel?
Know. Well, almost 3 months later, on March 16th, 2006, Matt Kruzicki's body was found in the Mississippi River.
Let's call him Matty.
An autopsy found alcohol in Matt's system totaling .09, barely over the legal limit,
Right.
and not enough to impair his judgment. And here's one more tidbit. The River Queen Lounge's address was 31 Cincinnati Avenue.
Ooh. Tell me that was the
Matthew
first time
Kruzicki was last seen on Cincinnati Avenue. Dun, dun, dun.
You know, it'd be extra awesome.
What?
If Cincinnati first starting appearing with that victim.
Well, dun, dun, dun.
Ooh, don't tell me.
If listeners remember from the last episode, Supernatural Current Studies podcast episode 70, The Smiley Face Killer,
Just check the last one.
we mentioned that at some locations where smiley face victims were found, not only was a smiley face found, but also the single cryptic word Cincinnati, specifically in a smiley face case from East Lansing, Michigan. What some people claim is that the killer or killers in the East Lansing case were giving a clue as to where the next abduction will take place.
Was the next one him?
Cincinnati Avenue.
Right.
Cincinnati Avenue.
Right.
I don't know.
Was the victim after that in a timeline him? This Matt guy?
Don't remember. I would have to go back to episode 70 notes.
Okay.
So I would say this was after the this was after the Lansing murder. Hence why people are saying they were setting up, giving a clue as to what was going to happen next.
It's possible they had that guy in the can, so to speak. You know how they say...
This is going back to your theory that that you talked about in the last episode where they know the victim prior to abduction,
right,
drugging,
yes.
abduction, torture, and so forth.
Right.
Which is horrifying. It's terrifying. So It's possible. I don't know.
Yes.
But that is one tidbit that really makes people's ears prick up to this is a thing.
I can see that. I mean, it seems... How can it not? At least connects to accidental drownings accidental murders, or accidents into something, like 2 different states. It connects 2 at least out of the many. So yeah, I can see why people will start, saying, hey, what the fuck?
Yep.
Yeah.
Now okay, I'll let this unfold. Jared Dion. Jared Dion was a University of Wisconsin lacrosse student and wrestler. And another lacrosse.
Another wrestler. Well, wait. Last seen on April 10th, 2004, getting into a safe ride bus, or as students call it, the drunk bus. Yeah.
A means of transportation designed to take University of Wisconsin lacrosse students to and from campus and downtown La Crosse safely and at no cost. After a night of drinking and dancing at John's Bar in La Crosse, downtown La Crosse, Jared Dion's friends watched him board the safe bus, and that was it. He never made it back to campus. He disappeared.
Wow. And it only goes one way, right?
It's just a constant run between downtown
like a shuttle from the airport to a hotel.
Exactly.
Okay.
Meant for safety,
Right. No, I get it. That's interesting because a lot of those... What year was this again?
This was 2004.
Oh, okay. Maybe not that early. But I know a lot of these nowadays, at least, I don't know for how long, they have cameras in them.
No mention in any of the articles about camera footage.
I probably didn't have it, but so interesting. No one saw him after. I mean,
that was it.
I mean, could wander off the campus and get kidnapped there. I'm not saying that's not possible. I'm just saying that's interesting because there's a safe.
Yeah, you got a driver. You got probably other people on the bus. Right. They said it was the last bus that was running for the night, so probably everyone who was trying to get that last drink was flying onto the bus.
That's true.
So there's a lot of people around. Now, Jared was found 5 days later on April 15th, 2004, floating in the Mississippi River. His baseball cap was found casually hanging on a post in a nearby park. There were no signs of foul play, of course, no trauma on his body. His blood alcohol content was .289, definitely over the legal limit.
Shit.
Jared, he's
alcohol poisoning.
Tying it on pretty good.
Yeah.
Jared Dion's cause of death was listed as, quote, cold water drowning with alcohol intoxication as a contributing factor, end quote.
Okay.
Now here's a strange little twist. Remember Matthew Kruzicki, the guy we just talked about?
Yes.
Both Jared Dion and Matt Krasicki went to Arrowhead High School in Wisconsin. Both were teammates on Arrowhead's wrestling team. Both went missing near the Mississippi River, and both were found drowned. Just a couple years apart.
Can you imagine being
Gives me the chills, man.
Can you imagine being one of their friends in the circle when they were in Arrowhead, and he's like, 2 down, guys. Am I next? Like,
yeah, well,
it's like a Final Destination thing.
When I was putting this together, I thought of how you said, is it someone that knows them, someone that stalked them out, or did they know them since high school?
That in a way connects 3 because it connects the Cincinnati of the Michigan one to the Cincinnati Avenue guy, which connects to this new wrestler guy we're talking about now, this Jared.
Yeah.
That's probably 3 possible connections. Or connections between 3 people. Or victims, sorry.
It's possible.
Yes. Oh.
Let me take a drink of beer.
Beer, silence, Mike is dead air, Mike is dead air.
There we go.
Okay, cool.
So those are the cases I wanted to talk about. Do you agree they're interesting?
Yes, definitely.
All the same MO. All of them. And the list, again, unfortunately goes on and on and on and on.
Right. Yeah.
But now I want to talk about some of the new theories as to what the Smiley Face killings might be. There's something called auto-assassination. It's not suicide, but it's a term for people who die because they have a reckless disregard for their own lives. They always accept a dare. They do stupid, crazy stunts and stupid shit.
Indiana Jones.
Yeah. They get drunk and jump into a body of water on a dare. Or simply to see if they could survive a long-distance swim or to just show off. Even if auto-assassination is the case in some of the drowning deaths, I could positively say that it's not the case for all of them. And if it's not the case for all of them, what are the rest?
Could be the same as like the way some high schools or college students would kidnap a competing college mascot, like that, like a ritual, see if you can last in that water. They're all drinking. They think they can do it because they feel more invincible because you're drunk.
Right.
You feel less. Things like that. I think of, like in, I don't know why I think of this movie. I'm sorry. In The Village, when they have to, I remember that movie by M. Night Shyamalan.
M. Night Shyamalan.
They have this thing with the kids there, the young adolescents. They do this thing where they stand at the edge of the village where they can't cross and see how long they can last.
That's right. That's right, yeah.
And the person to last the longest.
Auto-assassination.
Right, like, because they could be killed. That's what they think. And grew up with. So that's like their version of going into the water, cold, while drunk, and hey, Joe, do it. Come on, I can see why people can see that, of course.
But no way for all of them.
Right.
Impossible, right?
Also, by yourself. That's the thing. They're by themselves.
Who are they impressing?
Yeah, who the fuck was the audience? And all these people.
Good point.
No one would come clean by now, assuming that there's a people there. Maybe they want to keep it shut, whatever. But most of them would say, like, we could call the police, bro, or something, right?
Yeah.
They're not going to say nothing.
Just walk away. No, let's go to sleep now. No, that's a great point. Good
Survival
point.
of the fittest.
Who are they impressing?
Right.
Then I ran across something called the Dealers of Death, or the DOD.
The Death Dealers. You're doing Harry Potter
again. Right? Yes. No, really, it's the Dealers of Death, or the DOD.
They prefer blackjack.
Supposedly, the DOD is a 300-member strong gang that is responsible for over 40 murders of mostly young men, though not always men fitting the Smiley Face Killer MO. The DOD claims to be now this is interesting. The DOD claims to be a political subdivision of a Chicago gang, but for the life of me, I couldn't find what Chicago gang they were referring to. I found out that a man by the name of Jeremy Alford, and that's Jeremy, Jaremy, this asshole, he has to spell his name, was actually convicted.
Yeah, it wasn't his parents' fault, right?
Right. was convicted in the Christopher Jenkins murder. Jenkins was a University of Minnesota student who disappeared from downtown Minneapolis on Halloween 2002. We talked about his case in the last episode.
Mm-hmm.
So someone was actually tried and convicted for his murder. Alfred was also arrested in Iowa for harboring runaways and branding some of them with a 5-point star. He was also convicted of brutally murdering a man named Douglas Miller, a father of 4, who took Alfred and his brother in when they were down on their luck. Alfred killed Dennis Miller using a knife, a hammer, a barbecue fork, a metal bar, and a case of soda. I can't make it up. And a case of soda.
Yeah.
Beat him with a case of soda. Alfred then burned Miller.
Than fiction, man.
I'm telling you. Alfred then burned Miller and dumped both Miller and his car in the Iowa River. A real piece of shit, this one.
Yeah.
When he was arrested, Jeremy Alfred admitted to being a member of the Dealers of Death and said that they were the ones killing men and leaving the smiley faces on trees and other objects. Alfred also said that the leader of the Dealers of Death is a man who goes by the name of Smiley. That's Z-M-I-L-E-Y. Smiley. Smiley faces.
Right.
The connection's there. Now, Gannon and Duarte, the 2 New York detectives tracking the Smiley Face Killer, we talked about them in the last episode,
Yes.
they say that there is no outside corroboration to Alfred's claims.
Mm-hmm.
And the FBI says that the DOD gang does not exist. So I don't know. Is this DOD Dealers of Death thing real? Is Jeremy Alfred, is he telling the truth? Are they responsible for at least some of these murders? No one knows. But the DOD is an interesting angle.
I'm looking up Smiley on Google.
Yeah, Z-M-I-L-E-Y.
Yeah, that's what I got here.
Now, while you're doing that, this next theory is the one that I'm now leaning towards.
Okay.
Now, I got into a conversation with one of our YouTube subscribers. He was commenting on our episode 70 Smiley Face Killer video. He really got me thinking. Now, this guy wants to remain anonymous, but he believes that the smiley faces being found at crime scenes are nothing more than a distraction to make authorities miss or ignore the real details of the case. And what this person believes, this YouTube commenter, what he believes is that the real killers are a loosely tied group of hardcore BDSM types. People who derive sexual pleasure from seeing people drown or the act of drowning someone. They derive pleasure from the preparation of the crime, the hunt for the perfect victim, the drugging, the abduction, the holding captive and non-physical torture, the staging of the body, and finally depositing the body into the water, either while alive to see the victim drown and get ultimate pleasure from it, or dead. It's perfection these types seek. And leaving sloppy smiley face graffiti at crime scenes flies in the face of perfection. He believes that these people do not necessarily know each other. They likely belong to some hardcore drowning fetish group on the deep web. They probably communicate via the deep web and share pointers and modus operandi via the deep web. And what's scary, according to this gentleman, is that theoretically anyone can pick up on the MO of the Smiley Face Killer and go forth and put it into practice, which is terrifying, and which is why there is some variance in the crimes. Age, nationality, how long people are missing, how the bodies are found, and locations where the bodies are found. But the end result is the same. These people want perfection in execution and extreme sexual gratification. After speaking with this guy, this theory makes the most sense to me. And when I asked why the police are left in the dark about these crimes or refrain from making a connection between all of the victims, my source's answer was simple. They don't understand the motive, or they can't comprehend, or don't want to believe that people like this actually exist.
I mean, they have behavioral science divisions devoted to, classifying, labeling, whatever the fuck, types of people, some in that BDSM type style of seeking pleasure or something specific. There are serial killers that we know that do that, or have done that. And it's baffling that they wouldn't. I mean, I can see local police not knowing that, but I mean, or even like a county thing or whatever. But the FBI.
Yep.
I mean, Mindhunter, guys. Mindhunters.
Mindhunters, great show. Is it coming back?
I better.
I hope
It's
so.
too popular. It's definitely coming back.
Well, so I'll tell you, after talking to this guy,
Yeah.
and he turned me on to this theory about this extreme BDSM community running around loosely tied together doing these crimes, practicing this MO, seeking perfection and ultimate sexual gratification. Of course, I jumped to Google and tried to find the kink. I tried to find the background to this. It doesn't exist. You cannot find any. So you were saying they have these, how did you call it? Not the profilers, but they have the
Behavioral.
forensic psychologists, behavioral psychologists, all these people who come up with conditions, come up with states of mind. They put names to it and definitions behind it.
Yes.
There's no name or definition behind this specific type of killing.
But I'm sure if you go to a wide enough porn site of categories, you could find something maybe a little like this.
So you can find sex in water, simulated drowning, that sort of thing.
Or even like where they
choke
out the victim at the end.
Sure, autoerotic asphyxiation.
Right.
Like
I mean, it's all fake.
David Carradine, right?
It's, yeah.
Well, people die from it, like David Carradine. But,
I mean, it's fake in the regular porn sense. I'm just saying in that way.
Oh, right.
I mean, if you could find it there, it has to exist in some reality, right?
Yeah.
Someone's doing that for someone who wants to do it for real, probably. That's my point.
Yeah.
Right.
But there's no clinical name for this. There's no definition behind it. There's no MO that's known and published behind this type of kink. It doesn't exist. It literally doesn't exist. Do you understand what I'm saying? There's there's no scientific explanation for this thing.
Yes.
Therefore, the police don't see it. You know, these profilers and these psychologists, whatever, they don't see it. It doesn't exist.
When did
it's
these
so
murders start
underground. 1997.
Okay, the internet was around. Obviously, there's many ways to communicate without the internet, but obviously, I can see the black, what's it called, the dark web, being used for this very easy thing. Like, it's like a calling card. It's like a scavenger hunt worldwide, or like one of those amazing races or something.
Oh man,
it's like it's fucked up. It's totally possible. I can see people make fucking Death Stars out of toilet bowls because they have so much time on their hands. I mean, these guys can do it too.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
And with just a little practice, they could perfect this the ultimate high. You know, of staging the perfect crime, and they're getting off while doing it. Literally and figuratively, they're getting off while doing it.
Yeah, that's funny. It kind of reminds me of the
crazy
of the Ripper Crew, how they did a lot of crazy things to sexually gratify themselves.
Right, the Chicago Ripper Crew we covered on this show.
Yes, that's why I mentioned them. I could have mentioned something else, but
I like it.
Something from
listeners, go back and check out the Chicago
they
Ripper
did
Crew.
really supremely fucked up things, but it was a group of 4. It was localized. It was older too. 80s stuff. So like obviously different times, different measures, but like they did this. I mean, for the same coming reason. They came to the same conclusion.
That's gross.
Sorry, I had to. But that's what they were doing.
Right.
And it's you can't deny it. That's what it is. And it makes sense to me. Why else would you? First of all, murder in itself, in any form that people like to do, that in itself is already a thing you do for pleasure. Yes. And then when you get specific and you don't get caught and you know others, that's when you get organized. I can see that.
Wow.
And an organization leads to this level of kidnapping or whatever they're doing.
Or whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
And the scary thing is, there's never any physical evidence on the bodies of torture or abuse.
Because they just want the one thing.
So imagine what they're doing to these people.
Maybe they just want the one thing, or maybe like the reason some are they last longer is because they have to secure their their evidence-free, whatever, to get away with it. Some take longer than others. Like maybe it was a festival the next day and they can't do it. They can't dump the body until next week, as opposed to 3 days from now or whatever. It could be a lot of reasons, most likely just to get away with it, that are the reasons why they wait so long. You know, I mean, I can see some of them, like, for real, like, you know, berating them or God knows what. But it seems like what they were doing is that they're kidnapping, waiting for that day that, oh, the June the 15th is coming up. That's when I want to see him drown. You know, like, that's what they're waiting for. That's the climax. That's it. That's the only thing they may want. Yeah. That's why they're not hurt at all. That's why you don't see any bruises or whatever. Wow. Not to mention the water must do a lot of like washing away of things too.
Absolutely. Cleans the evidence, moves the body away from the crime scene.
Cleans the chloroform away.
The entry point, I guess you could say.
Right.
Where the body went into the water. Yeah, so they can't find a true crime scene. It's crazy. It's fucking crazy. It's definitely organized. I think this guy's onto something. I just hope they're caught soon.
Yeah.
It's definitely connected.
You're telling me.
There's no way it's not connected.
Yes.
So I don't know. Listeners, let us know what you think about this Smiley Face Killer thing and the theories we brought up.
Yes.
Let us know if you think it's real. Is it an urban legend? Is it just drunk college kids being drunk college kids, or something more nefarious? I don't know.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
No, that's a lot. That's good. I mean, you could literally make a lot of episodes going through all the cases.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll revisit it one day. Maybe if we get some more voicemails or something, we'll plug them in somewhere and talk about this a little bit more. But for now, I think I want to put it to bed.
Okay, cool. Put it to a riverbed?
Put it to a riverbed.
That's terrible.
That's bad.
Why would I say that?
I love it.
Yeah, you have to be a little morbid to like the show. So if you're here, you're already fucked up. So there you go.
Cheers to that. Oscar, take us home.
For sure. I guess he just...
He wants to keep anonymity, I guess. I get it.
Where do you live? Anemone.
He said... What did he say exactly?
Can you feel it?
He said, I'm doing this. He says, I'm doing this as a courtesy to spread awareness and help out people like you who are spreading awareness. For a little while.
So that's what the doctor was telling me I was spreading around.
No, that was hepatitis.
Motherfucker, like this bitch.
In the mouth.
Like you're taking like horse cock. You know how you take horse cock?
Huge gulp of it.
Right.
Just a gulp.
I'm so glad we can swear again. Remember that time where you stopped us from doing that?
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, we hated you. We had a little fan club going, like, fuck this Jay guy.
Fuck that Jay's a real
asshole. This guy swears a lot when he's not on mic. What the fuck?
That's all I do is swear.
What is that light?
What light? It's a car.
Oh, okay. It did not look that far away.
Oh.
What's with your creepy-ass neighborhood?
I don't know, bro.
Or is it you guys have such a dearth? Is dearth the right word?
Dearth?
Lack of violence that dearth is right?
Dearth?
Dearth?
Never heard that. I never heard these terms.
You're a fucking journalist.
Is that a Hispanic word?
No.
Dearth?
Dearth. Like
dearth?
A lot less of, like the opposite of copious.
I don't know. Well,
you know what copious is, right?
Oh, of course. Let's go to the giggle.
D-I-R-T-H. Pretty sure that's how you spell it.
Dearth.
Could be a U, but I don't think so.
There's a D-E-A-R-T-H. There's no...
Oh, that might be it then. I never had to write it.
A Wiktionary, dearth.
What's a Wiktionary?
Dearth Wiktionary. What is this?
Fuck, I don't know. I think you found something that isn't true. Like the one
dearth
thing.
Is it says misspelling of D-E-A-R-T-H.
It could be...
A period or condition when food is rare and hence expensive.
Maybe that's what it is?
Period.
Oh, wait, yeah, dearth. A scarcity or lack of something. Lack, scarcity, shortage,
okay.
shortfall, want, deficiency, insufficiency, inadequacy, paucity.
So I
absence.
guess then, yeah, you would have been right.
Yeah, don't fucking. It's a Cambridge English word. You guys are fucks. Make me deny
look
myself?
At you.
Yeah, bitch, I read.
Damn, usually I can.
Yeah, I've been to prison. If you.
I saw some fucked up shit.
Bro.
You go into a haunting thing with us, right?
Yeah, I know. I'm psychic. I'm fine with that.
You mean psychic?
Yeah, I'm interested to see if anything happens to you.
Yeah, I get channeled and they speak through me.
Well, I want to catch that on tape.
Is that direct? Is that cable or satellite?
Telepathic, I think.
Oh, the channel. Get it? I'm all weak, you bitches.
You bitches.
Try the veal.
Oh, the vape?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
I'm gonna get. Bless you, honey.
Bless you.
I just want to find the good first one. I don't want to get turned off by getting something I didn't want.
Yeah.
So I make sure I do it right. I have enough money, whatever. Yeah.
Cool.
And do it. Yeah, she did say that. She didn't say it to me. She said it to you, but yeah. I'm telling you, the dearth of violence is creating all this. That's what I was saying earlier, wasn't it? Creating all this weirdness. Street has to have something.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
The street has to have something.
It's
I like that.
Yeah, right? Everything has to have something.
The street wants.
And the street gets. What was I going to say? It kind of, right now looking at your blog, reminds me of the opening of Get Out when the black guy is walking around.
Oh, yeah.
Lakeith Stanfield.
And everyone's looking at him and shit.
No one's there. That's the whole point. It's nighttime.
I thought people
he's
the
lost.
Cops and stuff.
No, he's lost or something, and he's walking around and he's clearly it's like the black man's version of a horror movie because he's stuck in a suburban white neighborhood.
Ah.
And then a car drives by, clearly a white guy.
Yeah.
And he's walking away the way that the white people always do when they go into the city and shit, which you can see. And it's
good point.
It's like a perfect reversal because white people do that. And or people who are not into city stuff.
Yeah.
And he drives by, and then when he sees a car roll along, he's like, "Oh shit, what the fuck?" And he's worried the way people are worried when I don't know, gangster-looking people are walking around a corner.
You're right. I guess I didn't look at it that way.
It's the same
but
thing.
It makes complete sense.
For a black person, that's their gangland that they don't want to visit. That's their version of the hood they don't want to be at, or that's dangerous to them.
Yeah, you're right.
That's the whole play on that scene.
So, is my neighborhood dangerous?
Yeah, it's really white. I'm really worried here. I'm Mexican. I'm not saying I'm
Have
really
you seen
Mexican.
my next door neighbor's house?
Right. Dude, yeah.
Could you be bubbly? There you go.
Wow, Jesus, still too much. Fuck. I feel pink.
Yeah, I feel pink. I feel like I want a penis.
Yeah, no, that's not what I said. Wow. I feel like I'm more like I want to feel like I want to dance ballet or something.
Not like take a cock.
No, not take a cock. No, not yet.
Are these outtakes?
They're definitely outtakes.
Don't know.
What? See something?
No, I thought I just
there a
saw
white guy?
something run by.
Oh my god, I know.
White guy, 9 o'clock.
They might throw a Scrabble piece at me or something.
And a jar of mayonnaise.
Jar of mayonnaise, that's a good one. That's a good one. And something, and they'll throw their bread that has what's that glucose thing they hate? Gluten-free, yeah. They'll throw something.
Gluten-free breath.
They'll throw gluten-full things at me. At the very last second, she doesn't take the procedure, but he goes through it.
Did you just ruin the movie?
That's the beginning. It's the
Okay,
first 20 minutes.
okay, good.
And then he has to spend all his alone life trying to find meaning into this now being miniaturized. And the whole time I'm like, you're fucking small. Do something awesome. The whole time I'm like, why are you being depressed?
I know this guy got Ant-Man.
Little whiny shit.
You're small. Do something awesome.
Yeah. The whole time I'm like, what's with the long ass face? The guy has a boring job. He's dating some boring woman that looks like she hasn't had, I think, an orgasm ever. And
I gotta see this.
It takes so long for him to find something. Even then, he still fucks it up because for some reason he has to have meaning about his life. His life has to mean something.
Life don't have to mean shit.
I'm like, motherfucker, just fucking fuck a bitch, drink something, sleep late. What the fuck? What the fuck? Have some fun, Jesus!
I love it.
I love it.
So, what's the whitest thing?
The whole thing is that
Oh,
it's just the
okay.
whole mentality of it. I feel like I've never met someone like that isn't white. I know. It just really gave me just bad feeling.
All right.
Bad taste. But it's still fun to watch. It's not like easy to watch. It's fun to watch.
All right. I'll check it out. Robin turns and goes, "Fuck Batman," and just whips everybody's ass.
So I guess DC
it's super
is still
dark.
going into the dark theme.
Yeah, it's dark. Oh, it's dark. Yeah. For
yeah,
sure.
but okay, honey.
Yes.
Have any? I'm kidding about the honey. It's ironical. Don't get jealous. Okay. Have you liked any of the recent dark DC movies?
Oh, I love Batman vs Superman.
You loved it.
Oh yeah, I thought it was great.
Love?
Yes, I love that movie.
Okay, there's only so much as a producer of the show that I can take. That movie.
You should see his face right now.
That movie. You know what? Suicide.
Here, put that mic up to her mouth. Let's get that good crunch. There it is. That's an advertisement right there.
Well, we haven't said the name of the...
Pringles.
I wasn't gonna, but...
Sponsored by Pringles.
Yeah.
Crunch.
We should do the knockout version you see in movies when they don't have rights for something.
Pringles?
Like Springles.
Sprinkles.
Or something. Whack Arnold's. Yeah. That movie's terrible, Jay.
Oh, man, I really liked it.
That movie's awful. So you just like anything with action.
No,
It's like you just watch any Steven Seagal movie. They're all the same.
I like seeing my two favorite, not favorite, but my two.
I get it.
somewhat
Iconic.
favorite,
You want to see iconic characters
yes.
duke it out in some shitty CGI thing. You know they fucked up his mustache, right?
Whose?
CGI mustache.
On Benefit?
When they resurrected Superman in the movie. Remember they had to resurrect him?
Yeah.
In the latest one, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever they fucking call it. Justice League. They resurrected him.
Oh, Justice League was good too. He dropped the mic. He literally dropped the mic. No Justice League?
Okay, Batman v Superman is almost a Godfather compared to the Justice League piece of shit that it is. I've had diarrhea that tasted better. Don't ask me how I know.
All right, we could go on forever.
No, I'd rather have cancer.
It's too. Oh, dude.
Sorry, those movies are awful. Anyway, remember
Yes.
they fucked up because the actor had whatever is the Superman actors.
Is it Henry
Cavill.
Is it Henry Cavill?
Cavill. Yes, that's what his family calls him. Yo, Caviz.
Cavill, come
He's
here.
so white, no way. Anyway, when he's resurrected, and he goes apeshit at everybody.
Yeah.
The CGI is so awful on his face because the actor had a mustache for another part he was playing at the time or something. And instead of redoing the take, they decided to try to just scrub it off digitally. Yeah. It looks like I did it.
I gotta do it. I gotta see it
awful.
again.
Dude, the movie's awful. It's
right.
awful. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm trying not to chastise you. I understand that those are your really shitty opinions. I'm sorry, normal opinions. And I'm trying not to judge.
Thank you.
But I'm a movie guy, and I have to say something.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I did see Braven with Jason Momoa, who was in Justice League.
I don't know that movie.
It was all right. It was pretty good.
Okay.
I pirated it. Arr.
You pirate everything.
I do. I really do.
Yeah. Remember when you were selling DVDs and Blu-rays?
I do.
Out of channels?
Oh my god, that was so long ago.
The first one was like Matrix Reloaded.
Yeah.
I remember.
And like the first Hulk and shit.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
With Edward Norton or the other one with Eric Bana?
Eric Bana.
Yeah, wow. That was a while
Ang
ago.
Lee.
I remember did that.
What? I saw
Lucio O's.
Gotti
That movie looks awful.
with John Travolta.
How was it?
Terrible.
Yeah, if anything, I would say that you have a higher...
It was. I really wanted to
Not
like
threshold,
it.
but you have higher standards for mafia movies.
Yes, Well, it was one of those nights where A Quiet Place wasn't streaming right, so I'm like, "Fuck, what else is on?" I'm wide awake.
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh, Gotti, all right, it's got to be okay."
So why aren't you awake when I come and see a movie with you?
I know I always fall asleep. Gotti was just bad.
No? Got?
Yes.
Okay. Tell us how you really feel, and tell me how right I am really about the
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Motherfucker, we're doing a show. She's asking for your faith.
Try that again, Oscar.
Well, I totally forgot.
Well, I was talking about the phone number, saying, "Hey,
Oh,
play
right, the
anything.
voicemail. First
Leave
of
us
all,
any